right now on 18 Eyewitness News.
Will we see any thunderstorms on your Wednesday? I'll have all the details.
Riots continue after the George Zimmerman verdict. Also, Edward Snowden has more secrets. And baby boomers will have to remain in the workforce longer to stay healthy longer. 18 Eyewitness News starts right now.
18 Eyewitness News starts now.
Rioters angry over the George Zimmerman verdict tore through the streets of Los Angeles Monday night. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Fred Dawkins. Our top story on 18 Eyewitness News. One of the jurors is speaking out. She says she voted to acquit Zimmerman because she believed he feared for his life. Gary Lane has more.
Angry protesters ran through the streets of Los Angeles for a second night, interrupting traffic, breaking windows, and even looting a Walmart store. Police struggled to contain the unrest to the Crenshaw district, the heart of LA's black community. Meanwhile, one of the 6 jurors in the Zimmerman trial, known only as juror number 37B, told CNN she voted to acquit George Zimmerman in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin because she had no doubt Zimmerman feared for his life. She said both Martin and Zimmerman could have walked away from their tragic encounter. She said, "I think all of us thought race did not play a role. We never had that discussion." Juror 37B said 3 jurors favored convicting Zimmerman, but changed their minds after repeated scrutiny of the evidence presented at the trial. Zimmerman's whereabouts are not known, but his parents are concerned for his safety.
It's a lot of death threats on, in the social media.
We've had an enormous amount of death threats.
And even though Zimmerman was found not guilty of criminal charges, his ordeal may not end anytime soon. Civil rights leaders are pushing for federal charges.
Clearly, there are grounds for civil rights charges here. We always said there would be a plan B, but there needed to be a plan A. There would never have been protests if there had been an arrest.
The U.S. Department of Justice is still considering a civil rights case against Zimmerman.
I share your concern. And as we first acknowledged last spring, we have opened an investigation into this matter.
And Martin's parents are considering a possible wrongful death lawsuit against Zimmerman as well. Gary Lane, CBN News.
The Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission has awarded several contracts for Southeast District projects. Awarded contracts include sidewalk improvements, asphalt overlays, and a bridge replacement. To see a list of those contracts, visit our website, kdkz18.com. Additional information regarding timelines and impacts to traffic will be released prior to the start of construction. As always, work zones will be marked with signs as work is underway. Motorists are urged to use caution when traveling in these areas and plan for possible delays. MoDOT will alert drivers prior to any changes in traffic. Route 143 in Iron County will be closed as Missouri Department of Transportation crews replace a pipe under a roadway. The section of roadway to be closed is located between County Road 166 and County Road 323. Weather permitting, work will take place on Wednesday from 7:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. The work zone will be marked with signs. Motorists are urged to use extreme caution while traveling near the area. A blistering heat wave scorched parts of the country on Tuesday. Temperatures are soaring into the 90s from Michigan to the East Coast, but the heat and humidity will make it feel even hotter. Heat advisories and warnings are in place in Boston, New York City, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. Several cities in the Northeast opened cooling centers to help residents beat the heat. In Portland, Maine, 5 people were taken to a hospital after being overcome by the heat during a half marathon. Those who have to be outside are encouraged to take frequent breaks and drink lots of water.
You ever been close to death? This is about 2 steps closer. Literally, there's nothing you can do to keep cool.
Walking around in this heat, you have to kind of overhydrate. You have to drink even if you're not thirsty.
Forecasters said the heat wave will continue for several days. It is expected to expand into the Midwest and Northern Plains by midweek. Last year, at least 155 people died from heat-related illness. Speaking of the heat, Dustin Kopp is here. Dustin, how hot's it going to get?
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures across the area definitely on the warm side, ranging from the upper 80s to lower 90s. We're still seeing that warm flow in the area, and we're going to continue to see that for the next several days. Let's take a look at your forecast throughout the evening hours. Partly cloudy skies at 7 p.m., about 86 degrees, 81 rather, at 9 p.m. with a clear sky. Clear skies remain overnight for most of the evening, and a temperature of 75. More details on your Wednesday forecast coming up later in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
And when we come back on 18 Eyewitness News, Edward Snowden has more secrets. That story coming up only on 18 Eyewitness News.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
The NSA agent accused of spilling the beans on America's most sensitive surveillance intelligence apparently has more secrets. Edward Snowden reported that he has the blueprint documents on how our country's national security agency operates, and if the information is made public, it could harm the United States. George Thomas has more.
If you thought Edward Snowden's revelations of the NSA's massive snooping operation was all he had, think again.
In order to take documents that proved that what he was saying was true, he had to take ones that included very sensitive, detailed blueprints.
Glenn Greenwald is the columnist with a British newspaper who first reported on the intelligence leaks. He says Snowden has what he calls the instruction manual for how the NSA is built.
He's in possession of literally thousands of documents that contain very specific blueprints that would allow somebody who read them to know exactly how the NSA does what it does.
And perhaps more alarming is just how easy it was for Snowden to apparently get his hands on the treasure trove of data.
Being able to inform people about the true severity of how much each NSA analyst has access to people's personal private communications with very little oversight, checks, or safeguards.
Snowden emerged for the first time in weeks last Friday, still in hiding in a Moscow airport. He wants Russian asylum until he can legally travel on to Latin America. Russia says they'll grant his request, but on condition he stops the leaks. Greenwald says the NSA agent has scores of documents on other surveillance programs that, if released publicly, would be very harmful to the United States.
There are other domestic spying programs that have yet to be revealed, similar in nature to the ones we have revealed.
The White House wants Russia to send him back to face felony charges.
He's very resigned to the fact that things might go terribly wrong, and he absolutely is at peace with that.
And Greenwald has this warning to anyone trying to harm Snowden.
It's not simply a matter of if he dies, things get released. It's more nuanced than that. It's really a way to just protect himself against extremely rogue behavior on the part of the United States, by which I mean violent actions towards him designed to end his life.
George Thomas, CBN News.
Registration for the next school year is drawing near for Farmington schools. Assistant Superintendent of Schools Sarah Long says that there is a wide range of days for students to get registered.
Farmington School District is starting registration basically on July the 30th of this year, and it will run through August the 2nd. We start from kindergarten all the way through high school, depending on which grade span, but those days would be the appropriate days for families to stop in.
Sarah tells 18 Eyewitness News why registration is a positive for high school and middle school students.
Registration allows, particularly for middle school and high school students, the opportunity to see the schedule that they've already registered for back in the spring, to change any classes they might need, and really to be sure that they're off and running for that first day of school.
All of the information you need can be found at our website, kdkz18.com. The Kennett Police Department is currently investigating a reported armed robbery that happened Sunday afternoon at Unico Bank. The victim told police she was making a bank deposit from a local store when a black male approached and reportedly forced her back into her car. Kennett police say the suspect took the deposit bag from her and then forced her to drive to the 600 block of North Vandeventer Street in Kennett. The suspect then ran westbound between houses. The suspect is being described as a black male wearing all black clothing and a gray bandana around his face. Kennett police are currently working several leads but need the public's help in identifying the suspect. If you have any information, contact the Kennett Police Department at 888-4622. Church officials at Calvary Temple in Fredericktown say that the senior pastor, 69-year-old Carl Curtin, has resigned. Officials say that Curtin was asked to resign by the church's 6-member board Sunday amidst allegations of assault and stalking. Just a little over a week ago, he had been charged with 2 Class A misdemeanors. It's reported that Curtin was asked to resign because he was not forthcoming and consistent in statements made about the situation to the board. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any new developments on KDKZ18.com and 18 Eyewitness News. 25-year-old Danny Contello, formerly of Doe Run, has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for violating the probation that he received for animal abuse and leaving the scene of an accident. Contello admitted to violating the drugs condition of his probation. His public defender asked the judge to consider sentencing him to a drug treatment program, but the judge denied the request. Court records indicate that on December 30th, 2006, Contello killed another person's female boxer by beating it in the head with a shovel. The dog had been stolen from a home in East Bonne Terre and was later found dead at a home on Old Bonne Terre Road. In another incident, Contello left the scene of a vehicle accident on Route 221 in October of 2006. Bystanders took him back to the scene of the accident, where he gave authorities his brother's name and identification. He was found in possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. Up next on 18 Eyewitness News, baby boomers will have to remain in the workforce longer to stay healthy longer. 18 Eyewitness News continues after this.
We all need to take responsibility in our lives and start thinking about how do we want to be treated at the end of our lives. I would definitely say Serenity Hospice Care is an expert in their field. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's help a phone call away. If it were me and I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, absolutely, I would choose Serenity Hospice Care.
As I get ready to go into surgery, I remind myself what it's about. It's about God. It's about caring. It's about trust. It's about respect. It's about back pain. It's about neck pain. It's about questions. It's about answers. It's about people, not just patients. It's about you. It's about us. It is Heartland Spine. Changing lives, saving lives. That's what we do.
Baby boomers are having to remain in the workforce longer before taking retirement. However, there could be a bright side to that reality. New research says the longer you work, the less likely you are to develop Alzheimer's disease. Health reporter Lori Johnson tells us why that's true and passes on more tips for preventing Alzheimer's.
Our choices can make a difference about whether we get Alzheimer's or keep it at bay. So says a study of 500,000 people that shows for each additional year a person worked, the risk of getting Alzheimer's was reduced by 3%. The reason is because working is more demanding than retirement, physically, mentally, and socially. Stimulation in all 3 of those areas leads to a healthy brain because they increase the blood flow in the brain and also increase chemicals that protect the brain and slow its deterioration. In addition to those activities, a healthy brain also depends on a good diet, according to a study at the Oregon Health and Science University.
We're interested in things that might have a role in the prevention of Alzheimer's disease, but also looking for things that might be actually causing the disease.
Bowman and his colleagues studied 104 seniors with an average age of 87 and found people who ate trans fats scored lower on thinking and memory tests. Trans fat is in processed foods. It's called hydrogenated oil in the list of ingredients. It's also in fast food, margarine, and vegetable shortening.
Trans fats are they're kind of all over the place.
On the other hand, seniors who ate diets high in vitamins B, C, D, and E, as well as omega-3 fats, scored higher.
So it's a combination of staying away from the bad and getting the good. If you just do one, you may not get the bonus effect.
Some Alzheimer's patients exhibit tremendous improvement after taking coconut oil. Steve Newport's Alzheimer's was so advanced, this is what happened when he tried to draw a picture of a clock. But then his wife, who's also a doctor, started giving him coconut oil. And 2 weeks later, his clock drawing was much better.
I thought at the time, was it just good luck? Was it a lot of prayer? Was it the coconut oil? And I thought, well, we're going to keep the coconut oil going.
3 weeks later, his clock drawing demonstrated an even healthier brain. Dr. Newport wrote a book about Steve's success with coconut oil and has since heard from readers with similar stories.
Some of these responses have been quite dramatic, and I do have a collection now of almost 220 reports, mostly from caregivers and some from the person themselves, reporting that they saw improvement after they started taking coconut oil.
So there are lots of things you can do to improve your brain health, stimulate your mind with work and puzzles, challenge your body with cardiovascular and strength training, and connect emotionally with others. Also, eat a diet rich in vitamins, omega-3 fats, and coconut oil while avoiding trans fats. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
President Barack Obama said Monday the nation is kinder and gentler thanks to former President George H.W. Bush. Bush, sporting his now signature bold socks, joined Obama in the White House to honor the 5,000th winner of the Daily Point of Light Award. The award was created by the former president nearly 20 years ago to honor volunteerism. President Obama said, although he's too humble to recognize it, the senior Bush's passion for service has strengthened the nation.
Mr. President, I'm one of millions of people who've been inspired by your passion and your commitment. You have helped so many Americans discover that they too have something to contribute, that they too have the power to make a difference.
The recipient of today's award, Floyd Hammer and Kathy Hamilton, a retired couple from Iowa, were honored for delivering meals to hungry children in more than 15 countries.
What does your Wednesday forecast look like? Will we see any thunderstorms, and how hot will it get? I'll let you know coming up. We'll be right back.
More than 70% of the U.S. experience back or neck pain within our lifetime. For many, it goes away within 4 to 6 weeks, but some require more than just time. If you need help treating your back or neck pain, contact Dr. Frank Hayward at Heartland Spine Institute. Dr. Hayward is the area's expert in minimally invasive and laser spine surgery. Tiny incision, big results. Changing lives, saving lives. That's what we do.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. Currently we have a partly cloudy sky, temperature of 87 degrees, but look what it feels like, 93 right now, current dew point 71 with 56% humidity and an east-southeast wind at 5 miles per hour. Throughout the area, we're seeing temperatures in the upper 80s to lower 90s, 91 right now in St. Genevieve, but cooler in some areas like Fredericktown and Ironton at 87. Throughout the state of Missouri, we're seeing temperatures on the warm side as well, near 90 in Kansas City at 89 degrees, Springfield 87, 88 right now in Columbia, and right now in St. Louis, about 90 degrees, 91 in Cape Girardeau. So definitely a hot one here, and we're going to see more hot weather as well. Isolated thunderstorms for tonight and for tomorrow and tomorrow night. It looks like temperatures on the hot side as well, with heat indexes about 95 to 105, and sunshine will be here and there. Let's take a look at that forecast for you. Like I said, we're going to be in that hot spectrum of things chance of an isolated thunderstorm. However, down to our south, we are seeing chances of isolated thunderstorms as well. High pressure system over Illinois and Indiana. Forecast for tonight, isolated thunderstorms possible, a slim chance, 69 to 72 for your overnight low, light to variable winds. For tomorrow, another slim chance of isolated thunderstorms, 92 to 96, with a heat index about 95 to 100, so definitely on the hot side. Looking ahead the next several days, we are going to continue to warm up. Thursday, 91, maybe a little bit warmer than that. That temperature is kind of fluctuating there. Partly sunny, mostly sunny on Friday, 95. Heat index about 95 to 100. Some areas a little bit warmer than that. 92 and isolated thunderstorms on Saturday. Sunday, partly sunny, 89. Then cooling off a bit on Monday with some isolated thunderstorms, 83. And partly sunny on Tuesday and a high of 86. Don't forget, you can get the latest weather information at our website, KDKZ18.com.
I'm Stacy Johnson. If you were missing some money, where would you look? In your pants pocket? In the washer under a cushion? No, online. I'll explain just ahead on Money Talks News.
We all need to take responsibility in our lives and start thinking about how do we want to be treated at the end of our lives. I would definitely say Serenity Hospice Care is an expert in their field. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's help a phone call away. If it were me and I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, absolutely, I would choose Serenity Hospice Care.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
Could there be some missing money out there trying to find you? Odds in 1 in 8 that there is. Money reporter Stacy Johnson explains why you might be owed money, how to find it, and why you should never pay someone to find it for you.
Nothing's nicer than finding some cash in a pocket you forgot you had.
Even better, though, opening an envelope and seeing you got $150 you didn't know you had.
I recently got something in the mail saying I was owed $150, and this company would collect it for me for $29.
Now, this is an example of unclaimed property and an example of a company trying to make money off of it. But instead of paying this company, I did what they did. I went online and just looked it up myself.
I went to this site, unclaimed.org, and sure enough, there it is, a $150 unclaimed rebate check from Office Depot. In a matter of minutes, I downloaded a form, filled it out, and my money should soon be on the way.
According to the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators, about 1 in 8 Americans have some money out there trying to find them. So take a minute or two, go online, and start a treasure hunt.
First stop, where I went, unclaimed.org. You can also check your state's website for unclaimed property, and don't forget to check other states where you've lived also. Next, this U.S. government site lets you find unclaimed pension money, investor class action settlements, unclaimed tax refunds, mortgage insurance refunds, and more. Things like old stock certificates require a different approach. For these, you want detailed instructions from this SEC website.
Bottom line, your treasure hunt may be unproductive, but you can do it during a commercial break, and you certainly don't need to pay somebody else to do it for you. Want links? I got them. Just go to moneytalksnews.com and do a search for Missing Money. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
As Stacy said, he's got a lot of information and links at his website. To get there, just go to our website, KDKZ18.com. Click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
This is Sports Zone.
The road back to the major leagues for Chris Carpenter began in Springfield Monday night. The one-time Cardinal ace and former Cy Young winner pitched 2.2 innings in a rehab start for the AA Cardinals. Carpenter says, so far, so good, but he has much to improve. Carpenter threw 54 pitches, 38 strikes, and 16 balls. He allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, 6 hits, 2 walks with a homer, and 5 strikeouts in a 5-3 loss to Arkansas. According to Carp, his next start will come either with Springfield or AAA Memphis. He said he's nowhere near pitching for the big league club just yet. The Cardinals are off for 3 days. Their next series is against the Padres. The first game in the series is on Friday at 7:15. The St. Louis Blues announced their 2013-14 preseason schedule, which will put them at home and road games against Dallas, Tampa Bay, and Minnesota. The Blues start Sunday, September 15th at Dallas and play their first home game on Friday, September 20th versus Tampa Bay. And that's Today in Sports.
Another day has come and gone for 18 Eyewitness News. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, God bless.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.